It's no secret that 2020 was a really bad year for brick and mortar shops in every industry, including cigars. And we at Privada really believe that without brick and mortar shops, there is no cigar culture. So we saw it as a big priority to support local shops, because if they are suffering, the industry over time will suffer in a major way also. And so we created the Limited Cigar Association, LCA. This is a program designed to support local brick and mortar shops and create something that's exciting for customers at shops each month. The way the LCA works is once a month through the LCA, one cigar is released, one limited edition cigar released exclusively to LCA shops and made just one time by one of the manufacturers we collaborate with. Every shop in the program gets a chance to get a very small amount of each release. And we advertise all of our shops to all of our followers and members and let you know where you can find these cigars. This is really good for customers if you are interested in limited edition cigars, trying to find interesting and new product each month. And this is great for shops because it keeps new customers coming in their doors each month, and it gives them something they can sell at very quickly on a monthly basis. We really believe that while online cigar shopping and online cigar communities are a beautiful thing, there's nothing quite like having a in-person experience with a community at a brick and mortar shop. And we're hoping that the LCA continues to foster that and continues to keep brick and mortar shops vibrant and healthy.
If your local shop is not signed up for LCA, make sure you go in, talk to the right person, and get them in touch with Clark at PrivadaCigarClub.com. We're looking to make 2021 an even more exciting time for brick and mortar shops. Hashtag We Are Privada, hashtag Limited Cigar Association. Let's keep cigar culture not just alive, but on and popping. Peace.
Here we go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Super Stogie Bros. It's me, Christian.
And I'm Nick.
So yeah, we're in good for a good episode today. Nick, what's been going on with you?
Nothing, man. Work. That's about it.
Same old, same old.
Working. What about you?
Same old, same old. Same thing. I've been kind of winding down from post PCA. We took in a lot of cigars, a lot of cigar information. Brought in some good cigars, and just testing out new stuff. So it's definitely been an adventure, to say the least. But fun stuff, man. Definitely fun stuff.
Yeah. I know I'm still riding high off that last episode, and I know it'll be hard. It'll be.
Uh-oh.
What did you do? So I was saying it'll be hard to top the Coburns. And
What the heck?
what the fuck?
That's good.
Okay. Top.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. It will be hard to top the Coburn. I think we did a good job of it. Maybe not topping, but at least we did, match them by bringing in Clark from Privada this week. Pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're stepping it up. We're stepping up our game. We definitely want to get more cool guests on here and really talk about the community and some of the great things that a lot of these manufacturers and clubs are doing. So,
Yep. So I'd like to say hi to everybody that's on tonight. I see you, Bernie. Put some clothes on. So, what's up, Doc? What's up, Manny? That's disgusting. I have that in my head now. I'm not going to get rid of that for a while.
That's kind of the.
Thanks for tuning in. So you guys saw the LC video at the start. You know, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I think it's a pretty amazing thing that Brian and Clark came up with and they're doing, and we kind of want to dig in on that and see how that got started and all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and bring on our guest then. So
right, let's do that.
What's going on?
Yo, guy.
Nick, Christian, how are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Great.
Good,
Thank you for having me. Just let me say, if there's a challenge here now, I got to top our last episode. So bring my A game. We're going to have a good one. We're going to do it.
Definitely. So let's start it out. Tell us a little bit about LCA and kind of where it came from and how you got started, and talk about what we're going to smoke.
Okay, I see Nick doing a timeout.
Let's do that. Let's let Clark introduce the cigar we're gonna smoke, and then let's cut it and light it. Because last week's episode we were about 40 minutes in before we lit the cigar.
Well, that cannot happen. So we'll cut up this guy right now and get him going. So I'll explain more about the LCA after we light the cigar. But the August LCA release is the Southern Draw Lady Killer LCA exclusive. This is the first time we've done a collaboration in the LCA with Southern Draw, and we're extremely excited about this one. It's an incredible cigar. Lady Killer is a continuation in Robert Holt's tradition of naming all of his releases after flowers. A lot of people don't realize that, but all of the Southern Draw releases are named after different kinds of botanicals or flowers. And Lady Killer is a particularly hardy bulb, similar to a tulip. It's got beautiful purple petals, and it's I think it's fitting because this is a similarly hardy and robust and full-flavored cigar. I think it's really cool how the secondary green band represents the flower's petals. The purple represents the flowers, or the stem rather, on the green. Purple represents the flower's petals, so it looks like an actual lady killer. And this is a 6.5 by 46 Vitola. That is a never before seen size from any Southern Draw cigar, and it will remain forever and always a Privada / LCA exclusive size from Southern Draw cigars. So super excited about this release. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So is this this is a Lonsdale, right?
It is a Lonsdale, yes.
Cool. Well, cool.
I'm excited about it too. I love Southern Draw cigars. Like, they are fantastic. The only cigar I have ever gotten tobacco sick off of was the Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder. The only cigar that's ever made me tobacco sick.
The Jacob's Ladder Brimstone, when that came out,
if you know,
my oh my.
Dude, if you know my flavor profile, like when people ask what kind of cigars does Nick like, my buddy Smoking Dog Poppy said, if you take a Maduro wrapper and you unscrew a pepper shaker and then just dump it in the cigar and roll it up, that's Nick's cigar. So if a cigar is gonna make me tobacco, that's heavy.
You know,
and that's I love project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did y'all work this deal out for this cigar? How do you get that collaboration, and how did that come about?
So this isn't the first Southern Draw collaboration Privada's ever done. It's the first one for the LCA. About a year ago now, I want to say, we had 2 Southern Draws in the Privada Cigar Club monthly subscription box. We had a Habana, which half the members got, and a Connecticut, which half the members got, and then we put up the remainder for sale on our online shop. We might still have a few left, I'm not sure. But that was the first time we'd ever worked together. And we just approached Robert and just said we love your cigars, what you guys are doing. We think you're a really important part of the cigar culture. We'd really love to do a collaboration with you guys and more thoroughly tell your story to more individuals and really give you guys all the props that you deserve.
Yeah, definitely. Well, cool. Let's light this
Awesome.
bastard.
Well, hold on. So this isn't available for people yet, is it, Clark?
It is not available yet. This goes on sale next Friday, August 6th, at LCA shops nationwide. But
So we're the first people that officially get to smoke. I mean, I'm sure you guys have smoked it, but we're the first people that officially get to smoke this a week before.
This is the
right?
first public consumption of this cigar.
Oh,
This
that
cigar
is
has not been. So we can say that we can write this down in history. The first time the Southern Draw Lady Killer was smoked in public. I remember smoking a test once for this though, 8 months ago, a long time ago, and just being floored by this blend. It's quite a complex blend. It's too much for me to even memorize. I have to look it up.
But so you're saying this is a full-bodied cigar?
It is. It's not overpowering in the way that like the Brimstone or Jacob's Ladder is, but certainly full body. Would not recommend for a cigar smoker's first ever cigar. That might be a bad combination.
So Clark,
Okay.
get ready for this. Watch Christian's the color in his face now, and after about halfway into the cigar, watch that color dissipate, and all you'll be able to see is like glasses, hat, shirt, and
so compare it,
because when we
Clark,
get a hefty
I'm
cigar,
taking a screenshot right now so I can compare it later. We got a screenshot.
But
We'll do it
compare this cigar to the White Blinding Light of Paul Stulak. Like, where is it at flavor or like strength wise?
Strength was about the same, I would say.
Oh, great.
Flavor profile not exactly the same. This one's a little richer, I think, but strength is definitely similar. And for those of you who are wondering, I do have the blend here. It's quite a good one. This is a Ecuadorian dark Habano Maduro wrapper, a Corojo 99 hybrid binder from Esteli, and the fillers consist of Viso Criollo 98 from Esteli, Seco Criollo 98 from Jalapa, and Lajero fillers from Condega. That's quite a mouthful, straight from the lips of Robert Holt himself.
So, funny story is me, Nick, and I think we were on a Herf, but we smoked the White Blinding Light, right? And I got probably about halfway through it, and I was literally pale. I had this sweat ring around my neck, and I was out, like, done.
I'm just going to take screenshots every 10 minutes to see how close we get to that point.
Yeah. So if I blend into that background, then you know.
when Christian can no longer be seen, we can only see his hat and his shirt.
Yeah, there you go. With a big sweat ring.
but I'll tell you this: Christian's not the only one. 3 people go down off that Paul Stulak White Blinding Light. Dirty Red did it the other week, Christian. He put it down. He was pasty white and green. It was killer.
Paul makes
so
some full body stuff.
Delivers like that because, yeah, he does.
His Red Screaming Sun is like one of my favorites.
So Clark, when did you and Brian hook up for all this? Give us a little background.
Like, how did Brian and I meet?
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian and I met in what?
What out the hell?
So we first met in
We're lagging.
2019. 2019, yeah. We met in early 2019. So the story is that Brian had started this club in 2017. It really didn't become anything major until 2018, though. And in 2018, he was living with his wife in a small apartment in Los Angeles, California. And they kind of realized, oh, wow, we've got a real business on our hands here. We need to move to get more space. So they came to Florida for, the favorable tobacco tax situation, obviously. And shortly after they moved here, I met Brian. I was managing a cigar lounge in Orlando at the time. And I'd been looking to get out for a little while to move on to something else. And one of my coworkers at the lounge, Smokey, who you might see on some YouTube Privada videos from time to time, Smokey actually joined the club, was I think one of the first 1,000 members in the club. And he brought in a box to work and was like, wow, look at this. This is really cool, showing it off to all of us there. I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. I was really impressed by the concept. And Smokey was had contacted Brian. They'd been emailing, and he was a film producer with a lot of experience in all kinds of cinematic endeavors. So back when it was a lot smaller, Smokey was helping Brian on a few small filming jobs that Brian was working on. So they kind of became buddies, and I got introduced to Brian through that connection. And Brian and I connected very well right away. And it was just him and his wife at that time, a very small operation. But it just so happened that after we became pretty good friends, this company was really growing to a point where he was needing help. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll help my friend Brian. I'd be happy to. And somehow I just kind of got sucked into this, and I haven't left ever since. And
the next thing you know, you're in a clown outfit doing videos.
One blink, and here I am. There are, I did not approve of this, but there are shirts of that face, the clown face, circulating out in the world right now. So if you see one, you know where that came from.
Yeah, we'll have to pick one of those up.
Yeah.
What a thing to be known for, right?
So I was introduced to you through the LCA, right?
Correct. And the LCA is something that we started just over a year ago now. We started in May of last year. And we started the LCA because it was no secret, as I explained in the video, 2020 was really bad for everybody. But brick and mortars were really hurting. And we really believed and still believe that without brick and mortar shops, there is no cigar culture. The in-person brick and mortar experience is an integral, vital part of cigar culture and creating new cigar smokers and keeping cigar communities alive. And so we wanted to do something that would support local brick and mortar shops. And we really felt very strongly about this personally, because we'd always been saying from the beginning, we're good for brick and mortar. Privada Cigar Club is the best advertisement for cigar culture, and we push people into brick and mortar shops. We're not an online shop. We're just a cigar subscription service that really gets people excited about this. But then we ended up, because our members were hounding us to offer cigars online, we ended up actually opening an online shop. And Brian and I kind of had a moral quandary. They're like, man, did we go back on our word? Should we feel bad about this? And so we saw this as an opportunity to really put our money where our mouths were and do something quite insane that most businesses would not do. Open up our entire book of business and say, hey, please go buy cigars from brick and mortar shops, and that we're going to sell them that you're not going to be able to get from us. So it was definitely, kind of like a situation where we're asking ourselves, can we just do something absolutely insane? But we just thought it was the right thing to do. And to say it's been a success so far would be a complete understatement. It's been far more successful than we could have ever even imagined. And it's extremely gratifying to see what the LCA has been able to do for brick and mortar shops, the communities that form around LCA releases at shops each month. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm certainly looking forward to the future of this.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's been just a great opportunity to open people up to the brick and mortars over again, right? It allows it gives them something that is limited that they want to go, and those collectors that want to go in, then they go into this brick and mortar, and then they see that we have more cigars, different cigars, and for me, I'm a boutique cigar lounge. To be able to see some of the stuff that I've got that isn't around at their normal places. So that's what it really draws a lot of people to our shop.
And I think, I love that story when a boutique cigar lounge does really well with LCA releases, because these are very boutique, extremely limited cigars. But what I also find really fun is when we get a shop in the LCA that's not a boutique lounge, that doesn't have a boutique following for the most part, but the LCA creates a boutique following and really brings in a new wave, a new generation of cigar smokers into that lounge. That's really exciting for me too, knowing that we can help breathe some new life and some fresh blood into these local shops.
What? How many shops right now are LCA? Do you have in the?
We're at just about 400 right now.
Christian, am I lagging?
Yeah. You're lagging.
Oh, Nick's gone now.
Yeah, he's gone. So talk about what has been your favorite LCA release to date?
That's a good question. I really liked Cigar, which was our February release. Jose Blanco did that one for us. Just a perfect morning cigar. And we've got another, I don't want to say too much, but if you like that one, we might have something else pretty good coming pretty soon as well. I love the trail mix from Buenaventura. I just thought that was a perfectly balanced cigar. And I have a soft spot in my heart for the OG Cookie Monster Lancero, which was almost a year ago now. That was really the first LCA release that took things to the next level. Before that, we had a couple of LCA releases, but they weren't on the monthly schedule like they are now, where there's a new release every first Friday of the month. Cookie Monster is where we started that concept, and it worked really well. Oh, yeah. So I always have a soft spot in my heart for Cookie.
Nick, what were you going to say?
What about now? Am I lagging now?
No, not anymore.
Okay. So there's some fucking dinging noise that I'm hearing. I've had 4.
I think it might be Clark's phone.
It's it's my laptop. I was hoping nobody would hear that. I can't. I'm just gonna turn down the volume. Hold on. I get these text notifications on my laptop. It's terrible. And I've got an extended family group chat where I've got aunts that I haven't spoken to in person in years texting, and it's a world right now. So I turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. I was just like, that was like the ding message.
I was hoping that wouldn't show up, but it was. Okay. Sorry about that.
So Nick, we were talking about his favorite LCA release, and he said he really liked Cigar, and he also the Trail Mix and the Cookie Monster.
Trail Mix was my number one new cigar for 2021 so far.
Ooh, look at that.
That was an amazing cigar. I wasn't really impressed with Cookie Monster. It didn't, and I smoked it as soon as I got it. Now I've got two that are sitting, that have been sitting for a while, and they're just kind of cooking. But yeah, I gotta let it sit for a little while. Now I love the first one I really got on was the Booth Death Bucket 2. Like that was the one where I was standing outside the door of the brick and mortar, like 15 minutes too, like looking around. And I was, are you guys open?
Open.
Yeah. He was like, Nick, you're the first fucking person here. I was like, okay, cool. How many do you have? He was like 25. I was like, I want 20 of them, please. Everybody else was dead.
Nick, you're that person that everybody hates when they before they even open.
It's like me and Chris. You know, Cigar Nut. Everybody hates him because he'll post like 25, 30 every LCA every month. He'll post like a picture of like 30 LCA releases, and everybody's like, "You fucking hoarder!" But I mean, Chris lives in San Antonio. There's probably like 8 LCA shops, and he probably bounces to each one and just picks up. But they didn't let me. They let me buy 10. They let me buy 5 the first day, and then I had to wait 3 days and go back and buy 5 more. I said, if you're not sold out in 3 days, can I come back and buy these 5? Because at that point in time, a lot of people hadn't gotten down, you know, with the LCA stuff yet. So I kind of lucked out on that one. Now, if I'm not at the shop within an hour of them opening up, they don't have LCAs anymore.
Who is it? Is it Cigar Room that you go to in Madison?
Here you go.
Hey, there it is. No, it's a pretty common theme, though, that, you know, it's like the first month, everyone's like at the LCA comes to a shop, everybody's figuring it out. You know, it's the first time they're, you know, getting familiar with it. And by month 3, they're gone in the first 10 minutes. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
If I work on a Saturday and, you know, it's like the release is on whatever Saturday or Friday, if I work on that day, I'm like, hey, I'm taking a long lunch today. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, the cigar room's 20 minutes from where I work. And I'm like, I'm going to the cigar room. They're like, well, you don't want food? I was like, I don't need food today. I just need to go get these cigars before they're sold out and then come back. But I'll leave every day at lunch to go see it.
This LCA release is all the nourishment I need.
So when did
you have fantastic cigars?
So when did what brought up the idea of doing the LCA Plus?
It's a very simple answer. For those of you who aren't familiar, LCA Plus is basically 1 or 2 or a few optional add-on cigars that shops can get each month that aren't the main monthly LCA release, but just other really cool, interesting things that we've come across, age stuff that you wouldn't be able to get elsewhere, or another exclusive that we've had done. And the reason we started doing this is because every single shop would call me at noon the Friday of the release and say, we're out. We need more cigars. I'm like, I don't have any more cigars for you. I'm sorry. So we wanted to be able to offer retailers and customers of brick and mortar shops LCA cigars from us more than just one day a month, right? When they sell out day of. So LCA Plus is just kind of our way of saying thank you to all of the retailers and all of the people who have patronized their local LCA shops for all the support that they've given the LCA and this movement by giving them more interesting cigars to choose from that hopefully, it's not always the case, but hopefully will keep LCA shops a little more in stock throughout the month. That doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes LCA shops are selling out of the LCA Plus just as fast or faster than the main LCA release, but there's only so many cigars I can come up with in a given month.
Yeah. So how do you get the numbers per shop? Because I know, is it based on like how big the shop is, or based on like how long they've been part of the LCA program, or what?
So I work really hard to keep it pretty fair. And so I always start out a little slower with new accounts just because, you know, they're new, and I like to give customers at the shops a couple of months to get accustomed to it. And then usually at that point, shops are ready for more. And so I'll start adding a few extra cigars each month. But my whole goal is that everybody has enough to make it through, like, the day. That doesn't always
the
happen.
day or the weekend or something.
Yeah, so it's like we've got there's an upper limit. I'm not giving away more than like 100 cigars per shop, really. But if a shop needs 100, I'll try to give that to them so they can take care of all their customers. There's other shops that are just happy to do one bundle a month for their small community, and I'm happy to do that for them also. So just enough to I try to take care of the end customers as much as possible, so that if you're lined up waiting to get an LCA release on the day of, I want you to be able to get one.
Yeah, I just recently had where I have stock left. The fruit leather. I've got a few of the Charger Ash still left, but the fruit leather I still have probably a bundle left. But everything else before then was just selling out.
And that's great. LCA Plus is working. Then you've got something on your shelf for the people who are fiending for LCA until next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Unless some jackass walks in and buys 20, like right as soon as the doors open.
It could happen. It does happen quite frequently. You can't account for that.
Clark, first things first. Birthday boy just jumped on. So Cigar Nut, happy birthday. He turned 43 today, so he's old as shit. But
hey, happy birthday, Cigar Nut.
So he just jumped on here, and since he jumped on here, so have you got to drive my car yet? Have you got to actually get in my car and drive it?
His Charger?
Yeah, that's my Charger.
Oh, have I? Yes, I have. I have driven the Charger. I have driven that a couple of times.
Not the Charger, the hard ash Charger. Coming to Huntsville.
I love it.
It will be.
What's that?
Here. It's coming to Huntsville, Alabama. Except for when I pick it up from you guys, I'm going to take a trip up through Texas. And I'm going to stop at Cigar Nut Shop, and I'm going to let him look at the car that he wanted, but I got because my ash is longer than his. And then I'm going to drive over to Crazy Veteran's house, his buddy, and I'm going to do donuts in his front yard. And then I'm going to drive back to Alabama in my Charger.
I love it.
He's been planning this. It's like his manifesto.
Yeah.
Well, all you need to do is get the longest. You need to make it into the top 10 longest ashes on that cigar on Instagram, and then if you're in there, you got a 1 in 10 chance. If you can get the longest ash on camera on the live Zoom call, it's all yours.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do that, and where Chris is gonna have a problem is because he can't Photoshop it when it's live on the Zoom. We've been on her, and we've seen his green room where he's painted the walls green so he can do that Photoshopping in there, and it looks really, really nice. Now he's on here dying.
No Photoshopping allowed for the Charger Ash contest. We'll find you and we'll eliminate you from the competition.
So, what is some of the cool stuff y'all got planned? Do you have anything that you can, secrets or announcements that you can give us?
I don't know. What do you want to know? I know some things.
Whatever, just tell us what's in the works. If we got something to look forward to, some exclusives that we can drop.
I heard we'll have some cigars next month.
Dang, that's an exclusive. That's a Stogie Bros exclusive. LCA will have cigars next month.
That's what I've heard, anyways. I don't know. We'll have to see when we get there.
So this month we have the Lady Killer by Southern Draw, and then what's the other one? The My Blue Heaven. That's
yes,
LCA
the
Plus?
LCA Plus this month is My Blue Heaven by Aganorsa. My Blue Heaven, it's the name of a 1991 film. It's one of Brian's favorite films of all time. It's got Rick Moranis and Steve Martin in it. And we originally had this cigar made in a 6x44, I want to say, Lonsdale Vitola for the club almost 2 years ago. And that was crazy. It sold out super fast. So we had it remade again, put it on the shop like a year ago, sold out extremely quickly. It's one of our club's favorite cigars of all time. So this one is a Robusto Vitola, never before seen by anybody, and it's got a really cool band on it that was not on any of the originals. So certainly it's a collector's piece, and I think that you get some really interesting flavors out of this Robusto that you didn't get out of the original Lonsdale Vitola. So if you're a longtime fan of that cigar or looking for something new that's really, really unique, this is a win.
I love My Blue Heaven as well. Like, that was one of my favorite movies. Steve Martin.
You know, I gotta confess, we've been talking about My Blue Heaven for 2 years now at Privada, and it's Brian's favorite film, one of his favorite films, and I still haven't watched it. I have no idea what the movie's about. No idea at all. None.
It's literally Steve Martin as an Italian gangster in witness protection.
And he walks up.
Sounds great. I need to watch it before next Friday. I feel like I should watch it before the release on Friday. I'm gonna be a poser if I haven't done that.
He walks up to this lady in the grocery store in the frozen food aisle, and she's opening up the freezer and looking at the stuff, and he was like, "You are so hot, you will make all this stuff melt." And she just closes the door and walks off, and it's so cheesy. It is so fucking funny, dude. It's a great movie.
Now, I've heard Brian quote that line at least 30,000 times, and now I know where he got it from.
That's how I picked up my wife, dude, was that punchline. I stole that straight from Steve Martin and took it.
God damn it. Wow. I've been missing the secret to life the whole time.
Yep.
Need to come up with a Clark and Johnny Taquito cigar. That'd be, well, I don't know.
That'll be cool.
Is that already in the works? Probably. So how fun is it to work for Privada? Like what is like the normal day for Clark? Because I imagine, like, I'm send you text messages, right? And I'm all like, hey, you know, what the hell's going on with my order, or blah, blah, blah. I imagine with 400 shops, you're getting 400 texts a day, and then have to do your normal, like, day-to-day Privada stuff and LCA stuff. And, like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. I do get a lot of texts and calls every day, but I like it that way. It's a lot of fun. I mean, truly, I'm very lucky. It was a perfect example of right place, right time for me, that this really, this opportunity presented itself to me. I didn't even know when I was just hanging out with my friend Brian, who I liked and admired in the beginning. I didn't really realize what it was going to turn into. I mean, I could tell the company was going places, so I definitely, felt like it was a good idea to try to get on board. But it's been crazy. Exceeded expectations for both Brian and I. But I mean, it doesn't really feel like I'm working ever. It's just a lot of fun to keep growing Privada, this community with Brian together. It's really gratifying to see what we're creating here, and to see the people, the numerous people that love this as much as they do, and the happiness it brings into people's lives. So it's incredible. I am truly the luckiest person in the cigar industry, perhaps maybe in the world.
Yeah, you have probably got the most badass job ever. So, like,
it's pretty great. I can't even lie. It's pretty great. It's a lot of fun. I mean, truly, it's like, what's really funny is when this started, Brian and I were working like out of his garage, basically. We had a warehouse, but he and I just hung out in his garage and did work. And to be honest, that's probably like where I spend 50% of my time still, is just in Brian's garage with Brian. Like it feels like, it just feels very, I don't know, it just feels like we're hanging out, just doing something really fun together all the time. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work too. Like I there's a lot of paperwork involved, a lot of moving parts, but it's so worth it. And I'm very lucky.
And then
I think just imagine with. Go ahead.
You get to smoke a shit ton of amazing cigars too, right?
I have access to the best cigars in the world. We track down the best cigars, and then they're there for me to smoke. It's great.
Yeah. And then I see like what he did at giveaway. When was it? Yesterday, you guys did
Mm-hmm.
the like sample bag, and it was like just this fucking huge like 5-gallon Ziploc bag stuffed full of cigars, and he was like, here's one part of this month, and here's another part of this month, and and it's like 7 bags, and I'm like, holy shit, that's bigger.
That garage is very full of
sample.
cigars.
Yeah, your leftover samples from the month are bigger than most people's like entire cigar selection.
And we get so many. What nobody realizes, we get so many test blends because everybody wants to, get in the Privada box and all that, and so we're constantly getting test blends from different companies and manufacturers and brands. And so really, it's like most of what I smoke now are just test blends from companies because there's so many, an endless supply of them that we're trying to get through, which is honestly a lot of fun.
How many cigars do you smoke a day?
I would say I probably average around 3.
So how many cigars do you have in your humidor? Like if we were to go to Clark's humidor and open it up, how many cigars do you have in your humidor?
1,500 maybe.
Wow. 1,500? Yeah, fuck. 1,500 cigars. Nice.
It doesn't really feel even that necessary to have my own humidor because it's like distinguishing like the cigars I have in my house and the cigars I have at work. It really doesn't seem that important.
Well, I have 1,500 in my humidor that I smoke like one a week, but then I go to work and there's 66 million cigars that I smoke 4 a day.
Right.
Because like really, you probably get home from work and you're like, man, I don't even want to smoke another cigar because I've smoked these 4 badass cigars today. So like you just sit around and there you got cigars aging in your humidor for like 25 years. You need to have like a Clark selection where you're doing like, these cigars have been sitting in my humidor for like 16 years because I haven't smoked them because I was smoking samples at work and they're aged to perfection. So here I'm going to sell them for $63 million. And then Chris, rich ass, is going to buy all of them and love it.
Now, if I could sell cigars for $63 million,
16 years down the road.
that would be, I can retire after that then. If somebody pays me $63 million for my collection of cigars.
So now, granted, we're talking about like all the badass cigars that you smoke, but I imagine a majority of those are pretty shitty cigars.
Yeah, every once in a while.
I definitely smoke some shitty cigars here and there. We're lucky. People notice some good stuff to us, that we need like the highest quality stuff. But every once in a while, there'll be something not great that slips
They
through.
sneak one in. I just want to be in there. Help me out.
Usually, I usually give a cigar about a half an inch, and if it's not there after half an inch, then I just know it's not a great cigar, and I'll just put it out.
So, out of the bad cigars you've smoked, which Gurkha was the worst?
It's actually funny. I was probably 4 years ago. Oh my god, a long time ago. I was in Arizona, and I was in a cigar lounge. I don't even remember where I was exactly, what city I was in even. I was in a cigar lounge, and there was a cigar in the humidor that I didn't recognize. And it was like I don't even remember what it was, Bamboozler, something like that. And I'm like, what is this? And I saw it was by Gurkha. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm curious. And I smoked it, and it was terrible. And I was really mad at myself for making that mistake. It was actually worse than most Gurkhas I've ever had.
Well, see, it fit because Gurkha bamboozled you into buying that cigar.
That they did. They bamboozled me, for sure.
Shitty Cigar nailed the name. Nailed it. But so I smoked a.
It's like they make you feel stupid about spending your money on that cigar. It's so bad. It makes fun of you after the fact. Yeah, that's great.
You're probably on a prank show. Like there's video out there of like Ashton Kutcher laughing in a back room. Look at this guy smoking this bamboozled cigar.
Hey, you're on bamboozled. You just smoke bullshit in dirty diapers.
I smoked a Gurkha the day before yesterday.
How was it?
It actually was not that bad.
It's a funny running gag, but Gurkha definitely has a few pretty good cigars, like the Ghost. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, the Ghost wasn't bad.
But I heard the Ghost wasn't made by Gurkha; it's made by somebody else.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
On it, that's what counts, Christian. Their band is on it. Count. People that don't know that still think it's a Gurkha, but the one I was so the people that gave it to me, they pranked me and sent me 2 Gurkhas as a prank, and I was like, the other day I was like, well, I gotta smoke a cigar, but I'm not gonna be able to finish it all. So what can I smoke? And it was the Hartsfield and Company Gurkha, and it wasn't that bad. Like usually I'll get about 4 or 5 puffs into a Gurkha, and I'm like, I cannot do this, and I'll throw it out. Now it had your staple Gurkha, like after you get done smoking it, your mouth has that, like I just licked a sweaty camel's ass aftertaste, and I had that. So
that is a script sensation right there that you just portrayed.
It needs to go in the next Privada, Brian's next little list he sends out.
The rest of the cigar wasn't too bad. So I mean, I can't say anything bad about that one. And Josh from Legion Concept sent me that, and it looked like the end of it looked like his dog had been using it as a chew toy, and I smoked it anyway, and it wasn't it wasn't horrible. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't buy them, but if somebody sent me another one of those, I would smoke that too.
And we shouldn't give Gurkha a hard time for not making the Ghost. I mean, Privada, we don't make any of our own stuff. We're about spotlighting all the other brands that we work with.
But Gurkha is not.
That's true. But however, I just thought of something. You guys wanted to know secrets, as you called them, what's coming up. And this is a little known piece of information. I think we announced this, but it was kind of flew under the radar. But something we're really excited about is we are actually in the process of getting our own Privada seed of tobacco, our own hybridized strain that only we will have, that will only be found in Privada or LCA exclusive cigars. And that is something we're excited about.
Wow, that is goddamn, that place is gonna burn down.
Badass.
What the heck was that?
That was Cigar Wayne. Cigar Wayne is one of our friends on here, and he is like the Gurkha king. He fucking loves Gurkha cigars.
And he laughs like this.
I don't know what just happened. That was pretty disturbing, though. I'm gonna have to shower extra hard tonight after that. So yeah, in the next, it's gonna be planted in the next growing season. So in about 18 months, look out for new Privada tobacco, distinctive tobacco, and some of our stuff that you'll only find with our stuff. We're super excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. So that's gonna be. So you are gonna do that with collaborations, or it's just gonna be like Privada Club cigars?
We're not exactly even sure yet. It's only gonna go in Privada Club or LCA cigars. I don't know if we're gonna put it in all of them or just some of them, or or what. But all I know is it's happening, and we're really excited.
That is super awesome.
So I'll tell you what, I'm about halfway through this cigar. I don't feel like it's as strong as the White Blinding Light. What do you think, Christian? You're not pale. You're not pasty yet. I know we got the.
Yeah, let me take another screenshot to keep the progress, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just took one. There we go.
We got the ambulance crew. I know Manny says he's got 911 on speed dial to get Christian to the hospital if this cigar was too heavy, but it's not really.
No, I'm about halfway through, and it's really good. It's got some good flavors. It's really dynamic. It's got some good transitions.
Yeah, what I pay attention to this cigar more than anything, more than the strength, is how flavorful it is, and how nuanced and how complex, how many transition points, like you said. It's, I think for how full flavored it is, it's not, not brimstone, not over the top, not the most full-bodied cigar in the market, but for how full-bodied it is, I think that it gets a very impressive amount of complexity and transition. Because a lot of times when you're really strong, you just get a few overpowering notes, but this is certainly quite delicate still for how intense all the flavors are.
Oh yeah, I just smoked right before the show. I smoked the My Blue Heaven, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I smoked that one. That one just seems a little bit more stronger to me. But like this one, it's definitely something I would smoke again. It's not necessarily up my alley as far as like strength wise. I'm more of a mild to medium guy, but it's definitely very complex. It's got some great transitions, and I like the flavors.
100%. That's what we care about most of all. Is it good? Is it complex? And does it develop? It doesn't need to develop, but if it does, that's always a plus.
Yeah, it's an amazing cigar, and the complexity of it is crazy. Like you're talking about, like I'm sitting here pulling on it, and I'm like, I'm trying to pinpoint the flavors, and I don't have that, what's the word I'm looking for, Christian? The palate where I can taste, like, oh, this tastes like English leather, or this tastes like baseball glove leather, or fine Italian leather. I don't have that palate for that, but I can usually taste like I can taste leather, or I can taste wood, or I can taste not really barnyard, but you have that outdoor, the outdoorsy kind of flavor, and I can't really pinpoint one specific flavor on this at all. It's just this. It's just an amazing flavor. Like it's really, really good, but I can't sit there and go, oh yeah, that's floral or that's leather but it's good. It's really, really good cigar. Like I will buy way more when these drop. I'm gonna be sitting at the cigar room at 9:30 going, open up. I need some cigars.
We got this test blend from Robert Holt when we were talking about doing an exclusive for LCA. We knew this was it right away.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park with this one. This is definitely it's a must buy. Anybody out there watching that doesn't have an LCA close by to them, better go find one.
Email me if you don't know where your LCA is, clark@privadacigarclub.com. My email is in the public domain. I will help you find a shop if you don't know where yours is.
That's awesome.
Or you can always just call El Leon Cigar Company, and I'll do what I can to get you what I can. Make it to where I have to ask Clark for more every month.
We're not far from that right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing is amazing. I will definitely have to go pick up some more of these. Maybe I won't get as many as of the Charger Ash that I bought because, like I said, that car's coming to Alabama, so I had to have enough chances to make it to that top 10. But I will buy plenty more of these, and I know my wife is going to be itching to try this because she's sitting in the house watching the show right now. And I pulled it out, and she was like, well, "What is that?" And I said, "This is next month's LCA release." You guys got that for the show? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, I want to smoke one. I said, you'll get one. Drive down to the shop and pick some up for us. That's what's gonna happen. She was like, well, if you don't smoke all of it, just set it out and I'll come out and try it after the show. I was like, oh baby, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, no chance in
I
that.
got for sitting here waiting. This thing's gonna be like, I'm gonna be burning my lips on this one. This is good.
What do you guys think about the double primary band, to have not a primary and a secondary, but two main bands on the cigar?
That's impressive.
And I love the purple, like you were saying. And I love how you said that the green represents the stem and then the purple represents the bulb. Like, that was really cool when you're getting into that, just to see how much thought he put into it, Like, it's amazing. I love, like, when you get into, like, blenders and you get into cigar makers, like, how much actual thought goes into this stuff. And it's something that a lot of people, when they go to a cigar shop, they don't even pay attention to. Like, there's Wayne right there. I can help you find a Gurkha shop.
Nick,
like,
you're exactly right.
Yeah, it just passes right by them. So stuff like that I love to know, because now somebody that's watching our show will go to their LCA shop next month and they'll be like, hey, did you know that this green band on the bottom represents the stem and the purple band represents the top? And somebody's going to be like, you're so full of shit. And then they're going to Google Lady Killer and they're going to pull it up. It's going to be green and purple. And they're going to go, see? And they're going to go, holy cow. How? And they're going to be like, well, I was watching the Super Stogie Bros. And there you go. I got it. So
that's awesome. That's something that's from the beginning has been super important to Privada. It's really what Brian's, founding like mission statement for this club was education, was helping create a more educated, well-informed cigar consumer, sharing the passion of the blenders and the rollers and the people who make these cigars with the consumer. Because you're exactly right. People don't realize. And our whole thing has just been spotlighting, putting the focus on these icons of our industry that oftentimes go unrecognized, and explaining why they made a certain cigar, what they were thinking when they made a certain cigar, what they were hoping to get out of this particular cigar, why they picked these leaves, why they chose this factory, all of the interesting, numerous, many thoughts that went into this work of love. That's something we really pride ourselves in being able to pass along to people.
I really like the thought that goes behind that. Like they were saying with the bands. I'm a big movie buff. I like a lot of movies, and seeing those like Easter eggs and like the hidden things or whatever, and then to be able to open up that band of My Blue Heaven and
spoiler
alert! Spoiler alert! I put it out on my Instagram feed, but that was pretty cool. It's like, I've noticed once the bands came in that, that's the background from the movie poster. But, to open up that band was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see.
That was Brian's idea. I really love that. I thought it was pretty cool too.
Yeah. Until Rick Moranis comes around and starts giving y'all a call.
Yeah. So, Clark, have you ever thought about, I know you guys do your YouTube videos all the time. Have you guys ever thought about like having the cigar maker that does the LCA release do like a little short video like you were talking about this cigar every month, like maybe 5-10 minutes, where they go in and explain? Because if you wouldn't have told us, I would have never known this. But that would be something really cool, is if he got on there and he was like, hey, here's the thought process behind this, here's this, and this is why I blended these together and did that, just like a little 5-minute informational educational video every month that goes on Privada's website that's giving you just a little bit and more knowledge about that LCA release. Because I would have loved to know where it came from, or where what the trail mix, like where did you come up with trail mix? Like that's I've always questioned that. And Christian is one who is every dessert flavored cigar or dessert named cigar that comes out on the market, me and Christian both go out and buy them, and then we bitch, you know, the next day that doesn't taste like fucking cinnamon rolls at all. It's never. But you know, for the blender to come out and go, hey, I named it because cinnamon rolls are Cinnabon's my favorite restaurant, and so don't expect it to taste like Cinnabon, but it's a really good tasting cigar. I loved the Cinnabon cigar or Cigar cigar, but it didn't taste like cinnamon rolls to me. Now, once again, I bought 5 of them, so the other 4 are in there aging right now, and I usually I'll smoke one as soon as I get it. I'll let the other sit for about 6 to 7 months, and then try one of those, and then maybe let it sit for 3 more months and try it then. So, you know, but I think that would be something really neat. I know I would appreciate something like that, like just to get on and watch it, because I do nerd out a lot. When I'm smoking cigars, I'll get on and I watch a lot of Privada YouTube. I watch a lot of Cigar Nation Daily YouTubes. Like when I first started getting really, really big into cigars, before my wife started smoking, I'd sit on the front porch and smoke my 2-hour cigar and watch Tim from Cigar Nation Daily, like 2 straight hours of videos. Like that's how I learned to retrohale. That's how I learned, you know, how to light a cigar. That's basically how I learned everything I need. Because before that, I was lighting them with big lighters. You know, I wasn't retrohaling. At first, I was fucking inhaling. Like on the last half of my 3rd puff, I was inhaling.
Woof.
And I don't smoke because my lungs hurt for a week after I get done smoking a cigar. Well, I realized, hey, dumbass, you're doing this the wrong fucking way. I appreciate the education side of it because I'm one of those people who does get out and nerd out on stuff like that.
100%. I mean, so if you look through Privada's YouTube channel, we definitely try to have a lot of guests on for interviews frequently. It's hard to coordinate for every LCA release with the person who made each particular cigar. So we try to do a video each month on the new cigar ourselves to educate. But we are trying to figure out more ways that we can pass along the information to the end consumer, because we put out on our YouTube channel, and we pass the information along to the LCA shops. Yeah, Christian can tell you, everybody gets an email from me every month with some details on the cigar. But I certainly we don't want it to just be on the retailer to pass that information along that I'm giving them. We also want the consumers to come in educated before they even get there.
Yeah,
and so that's something we'll continue to work on.
Yeah, and I like Brian sitting down with Robert Caldwell is one of my favorite videos, you know, and just kind of just like seeing like really like a behind the scenes, or really like an interview with those manufacturers that make the cigars that you really like, you know, and like you said, and I would love to get more information, you know, like that would be cool to just see, you know, like small little nitbits like that, or Easter eggs, or maybe even afterwards you're saying, hey, did anybody see that Easter egg, or did anybody realize that this is this, you know? And granted, I mean, that's something like we could put out on our social media side and kind of help push that education out there. But, you know, finding that out is like super cool in my book, you know, from that
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, our YouTube and our video production is something we are always trying to improve and trying new things always. So always looking for new suggestions on how we can make it better.
Yeah. So my question is, did you see a huge uptick in subscriptions and cigar in interest during the COVID 2020?
Everybody in the industry would tell you the same thing. Yeah, it was 2020 was a record-breaking year for the cigar industry in terms of production. There are still production issues that brands are having because definitely a lot of people started smoking more cigars. You had people that were smoking 1 or 2 cigars a month that started smoking, you know, 1 or 2 cigars a day because they've got a lot of time. They're at home, and so cigars are how they fill that time. And so that was really that kind of goes back to another reason why we wanted to really start LCA, was because it's not fair, but while brick and mortars were really hurting, the online cigar space was booming for sure. And so we thought that this was really important to do, a shake a hand across the aisle, if you would, with brick and mortars when they really needed the help, and we had the opportunity to add that help.
Yeah, but and we're seeing a huge uptick in brick and mortars. Granted, people are starting to get out a little bit more and be able to really get back into the brick and mortars and see what's going on. But we're always battling that uphill battle with online stores and being able to match that price points and things like that. So it's just about education, and I think what y'all are doing is a great thing, and it's helped my shop out a lot, and I think you've helped a lot of other shops, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, it's very gratifying, and I think that what you're saying is correct. I think there are a lot more cigar smokers in the market now, and so I think that in the next few years we're going to really see like we're entering a second cigar boom, and I think that brick and mortars are really going to benefit from this equally, just as online retailers do. Because I think there's more cigar smokers, and they're going to be spending more time in their lounges, and I think hopefully LCA just expedites that process and introduces people who might have just been buying cigars online to begin with to brick and mortars that they feel really good about, that they enjoy spending time at.
Yeah. So we got a question from YouTube.
I think all three of us are pretty lucky because we're all three down in the South, and the South was a lot more lenient on COVID restrictions than, say, up north. Sure. Because I know here, Donald from the cigar room, he didn't ever really have to close his doors. At first he went out and he had social distance smoke. So we were all sitting out in the parking lot with chairs 6 feet away from each other. And then we did social distance smokes, and you couldn't go into the lounge, but he brought a menu out to you and you could pick it, and his people would go in and get it for you and then come out and sit outside. And that worked well, last summer. And then when wintertime hit, by that time, they had lifted a lot of the restrictions down here, so we could go into the now lounge-wise. He'd only have, he had a limit where he couldn't get over that. And so if you didn't make it in there for that, it kind of sucked. But you could still go up there and buy cigars. But, now down here, right now, there's really no restrictions. They've lifted the mask mandate. We don't have to wear masks out in public anymore. So I went to his 10-year anniversary. There was like 600 people at his shop that day.
Wow.
It was out. So he's not hurting, but he did everything he possibly could during the COVID restrictions to make sure he was still available for customers. And so that helped out a lot. I know a lot of people up north where the restrictions were a lot heftier, and they're still under a lot of restrictions. A lot of the business up there are really hurting from this. So I think the LCA really helping them out, getting people back out, getting people feeling comfortable going back to cigar lounges and stuff like that. Even if it is just to stop in to pick up a couple sticks and go home, at least you're getting that, get out experience. And I think the LCA really helped out with that. So
absolutely.
Yeah. We got a question from YouTube. What would you pair this cigar with?
It's a great question. I think you go a few different directions. I would go, I wouldn't want to go with an overpowering bourbon. I think Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I think like a good weeded bourbon, like maybe a Maker's Mark would be really good with this one. Get some of the citrus that would pair really well with some of the notes in here.
So I pair every cigar with Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, basically, because I don't drink alcohol. So Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, or cream and soda, or Dr. Pepper Cherry is what I or coffee is what I pair all of mine cigars with.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me and Nick because we don't drink to give people pairing options.
Oh, so that's why I'm the only one here that can offer any insight beyond Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pairing, though.
Yeah.
If it doesn't pair well with Dr. Pepper or sweet tea, me and Christian are out on giving pairing advice. But yeah, so you had another question. When is the Cafe Cubano coming out?
That will be the weekend of the 7th. It will either be on the 7th or maybe a couple days after, like maybe the Monday. We're not completely sure yet, but stay tuned.
Awesome. Nick, did you want to? Oh, okay. So let's go into some of our random questions. What is the oldest cigar you have in your humidor?
I think the oldest is okay. The one that I know the one that I know the date of is from 2004. I have one from 2004. So it's probably my most prized cigar in my collection. Actually, it is the original Davidoff Especiale Siete. They remade that cigar in 2019 with a different blend. But a lot of people didn't even realize was that cigar was actually released in 2004. 100,000 cigars were produced, and that was the first time Davidoff or any company really had used 5 fillers in the blend. Usually, it was 4 was considered the max up until that point. This was the first time that anybody had done 5 successfully. So 7 for 7 different leaves in the blend. And apparently, it's a really incredible cigar. And I happened to come across one a few years ago. I don't know when I'm going to smoke it. I'm kind of scared. I am.
So have you before?
What's that?
Have you never smoked one before, or you have and you just?
I've smoked the remake, but I've never smoked the one from 2004.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to get my hands on another one, so that's why I'm scared to smoke it. It's gone.
Yeah.
But I think I've got some cigars. I've got some Monte Cristos that I believe are from the 1990s. I'm not confident of exactly which date, but I've been informed that they are from the 90s, potentially. We'll see.
So Clark, how long have you been smoking cigars?
I've been smoking cigars for 7 years now, about.
What's your go-to out of? You got all these options, all these cigars you can smoke, and if you're like, man, I just want to go grab Old Faithful, the one that I know is never going to let me down. Like, what would that be for you?
You know what? Honestly, I really don't think I have a singular go-to cigar, and that's the honest truth. I really don't think I do. I find that my palate goes through cycles a lot, where I'll really be craving certain things. Right now, I'm definitely in a Connecticut shade kick. I'm really all about really good, interesting, complex Connecticut shade cigars. So I find myself reaching a lot for good Connecticut shades right now. We just got in a Connecticut shade the other day. I can't say much about it, but it's going to be coming eventually to LCA. Probably next year, actually, it looks like, but it's really, really good. And I've got a bundle with my name all over it. I'm going to stretch that one out.
So how far in advance do you have it scheduled out for LCA releases?
So we have kind of like a tentative like mock-up about 6 months in advance. We don't – so like we know like the next 6 cigars. We're not exactly sure where they're going to go, if that makes sense. So like we know what we're going to use. Like we've got the next 6 cigars figured out. We're just not sure which order we're going to put them out in. What we know for sure what we're going to do in October. We've got an October one planned out. I'm pretty sure I know what we're doing in November. There's something I really want to do in November in particular. But for next month, we actually don't even know yet. We've got a couple that we're trying to decide between. We'll probably decide in the next couple of weeks which one's going to be in the next month's release. But certainly we've got, for LCA, we've got cigars 6 months out aging. So once they hit LCA shops, they didn't come straight from the factory. They will have come from the factory, sat in our warehouse for at least a few months, and then gone to shelves, LCA shops.
Okay. So we have a question. Is there a limit on how long it should be in your humidor? How long a cigar should be in your humidor?
Like an LCA cigar or a cigar in general?
I think a cigar in general.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think there's a limit. I mean,
Wow. Do you guys want? Do you want me to answer this question? Because this could go on for a couple minutes.
yeah, go for it.
That's
Okay, this
I
was
wanna hear
something we've actually been researching a lot recently, trying in the pursuit of cigar knowledge to pass along to all of our members. And it appears that there really is no upper limit to how long you could age a cigar for if you do it under the proper circumstances. So what I mean by that is if you just store a cigar at, 69% humidity, room temperature, that cigar might have a shelf life where after 10 years or so it might start losing flavor, and not get it back. But if you store it under particular conditions for long-term aging of cigars, you can slow down that process so that you get a more beautiful long-term aging. So what I mean by that specifically, the things that speed up the ongoing fermentation that ages a cigar are oxygen availability, temperature, and higher humidity. So if you reduce all of those things, store cigars at a lower humidity than you would usually store them at, like around 50 to 55% humidity, at a cooler temperature than you'd usually store them at, maybe in the 50s or 60s Fahrenheit, and you keep them in a storage area where there's not a lot of oxygen going in and out, like an airtight jar, or the Privada bags are a really good example of that. Those things are airtight, perfect way to store your cigars. Or in a cooler long term, you're going to slow down that aging process tremendously. So you won't get as many changes as quickly in that cigar. It will appear not to be aging as quickly, but you're not going to be burning up in a flash all of the fuel, if you would, that tobacco has inside that lends itself to continuous fermentation, which leads to aging. So if you've got the patience and you don't mind waiting 20 years to age a box of cigars, and you store these cigars under these conditions, you can get what some people describe as an ethereal experience, where you get a complete blending of all the oils in the tobacco and have gotten the fermentation to extend well beyond what you normally get out of a cigar, and get truly complex notes that you just wouldn't find in tobacco that wasn't aged for that long under those conditions. So I think my answer to that question is, if you're storing cigars in a humidor, typically, like your everyday humidor, then there's probably going to come a point somewhere between 5 and 15 years, probably depending on the cigar, where you kind of hit a shelf life where you start losing flavor and don't get it back again. But if you are willing to have the patience, you can extend that process really, really almost indefinitely, would seem. And if you want to read more about that, there's a guy named Min Ron Nee. He wrote a book called, it's a long title. You got a copy at the office, but an illustrated encyclopedia of post-revolutionary Havana cigars. He's a Hong Kong cigar connoisseur and collector. He's got one of the largest, if not the largest, private collections of cigars in the world. And he goes really into depth into the chemistry and science of aging tobacco. And that's where we got a lot of this information from. And if you can find that information online, he breaks down all the different processes that tobacco will go through as you age it under these conditions. Really fascinating stuff. It's a deep dive if you want to take it.
So right now, Cigar Nut is on the phone. He's probably on Amazon buying that book, and then he's on the phone with this guy that just started up his great uncle's walk-in humidor with all pre-embargo cigars, going, drop the fucking air, take all the 65 Bovita packs out, replace them with 50 Bovita, and get that shit rolling. So
yeah, so certainly you shouldn't smoke the cigars at 50 like once you've aged them and you're ready to smoke them, you gradually bring them back up over the course of a month or so to smoking humidity. But keeping them at the lower humidity is good for the long-term storage. And that book is like $600 if you can find a copy on Amazon. You don't need to buy a copy. You can find other articles online that break down his discussion from that book. So don't feel like you need to rush out and spend $600 to get the information. It's out there if you Google Min Rodney.
So your personal humidor, what do you keep it at? Because there's so many arguments about 70, 69, 70. There's so many arguments about 65. Some people like to store their cigars at like 80% humidity. Why would you do that? I don't know. I don't like to, suck through the cigar when I'm smoking it. But what do you keep? What is your best for your everyday humidor? Like your best advice on what temperature and humidity to keep your cigars at?
Yeah. So for my everyday humidor, I keep my cigars at 67% humidity. I think. I don't think that's a hard and fast rule. I think that is a little bit dependent on where you live. I live in Florida. It's very humid and muggy down here. And so as second I pull a cigar out of the humidor and take it outside into an unconditioned space, it's more humid outside. So the cigar starts soaking up humidity right away. So keeping it a little lower than 69, which everybody recommends, I think is advantageous for Florida. If you're in Arizona, on the other hand, or Phoenix, where the humidity is 4%, I would probably keep them a little bit above 70, probably 72, just to prepare yourself for the fact that it's going to lose moisture immediately as you take it into the desert sun. Yeah, but for me, 67%, and I keep my temperature around. I keep my house at around 65, and I think that's pretty good. So I just keep air conditioned to 65.
I too live in North Alabama, so like right now I'm in my garage and I'm sticky. Like what I'm talking about. It's probably 83 here right now, but the humidity's about 85. So I'm out here like
pretty brutal.
It's stuck to me. So I keep mine at 65 humidity and about 65 to 67 degrees in my electric humidors.
I think that little lower humidity buffer makes a big difference, because otherwise, like you take something like this, you've been stored perfectly at 69% out, and smoke it in Alabama or in Florida, and it starts getting soggy halfway through. It just starts wicking that moisture right away.
Yeah.
So
we got
Justin Lawler's life question asked you, Clark, and us, what would be your desert island cigar if you only had one to pick from? Chris, you want to answer for me so I don't have to say?
It'd be a Paul Stulac. The Paul Stulac. Would it be it'd be the Red Screaming Sun?
Which one?
Lancero.
There you go. There's a certain Vitola that if I only could smoke one cigar for the rest of my life, that it would be the Red Screaming Sun Paul Stulac Lancero cigar. That's my absolute hands down favorite.
Yeah, that Lancero is pretty badass. I'm gonna flex a little bit for a second here. I think you guys might get jealous, but I actually happen to have a box in my possession in my humidor right now, a box of the original 2014 production of those Lanceros, and boy, are they good.
I
should have said that. Now I'm going to be hounded for these. I know.
I have those same cigars.
Oh yeah.
I have. What was told to me was it was the 2012 pre-production version. Sun Lanceros, and I actually picked up 15 of those, and I think I have like 6 left.
That's nice.
There's another friend of mine, Cigars and Timmy is his Instagram handle. He's the president of National Cigar Club South Africa, and he picked up the other 5 of those. So
that's great. I did answer the question though. What is my island cigar? Probably something that J.C. Newman made for us. something called the Good Life. It's a Privada exclusive, and it's probably the most decadent, the richest cigar I've ever had. It's like smoking like a brownie batter. It's incredible, and I really love thick, rich, decadent dessert like cigars, and that one definitely hits all the marks. I fell in love with it the first time I smoked it. If I could only smoke that for the rest of my life, I'd be okay.
That's awesome. Christian, what's yours?
It would probably have to be,
Any Serpent
yeah, it'd
Rainbow?
probably have to be the Blackwork Studios the Serpent and Rainbow.
You almost said
Ooh,
Red.
that's a good one right there. That's a good pick.
That's a good cigar. That would probably it'd have to be something like that, or maybe like their porcelain. I really like that cigar.
Did you have you get the monthly box, but you're a Privada member, right?
Yeah.
Have you gotten this month's box yet?
Mine shipped today. I've got to get with you guys because like I get mine at the end of the month.
Mine
And
do
it's like, I
too.
watch everybody
Shoot
else-
me an email. I'll change it for you guys.
Yeah, I watch everybody else on IG open up their Privada boxes, and I'm like, and then I get mine.
It's like spoiler alert, man. Like we already know what's coming in it by the time it gets here.
So
it's not like-
you know what's coming this month. The Blackworks that we've got in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should make that's a treat right there.
Yeah.
I'm also
I just got mine this
Armor.
week, I think.
Yeah, shoot me an email, Nick. I don't have your email, but Christian, I'll just adjust you, and Nick, I'd be happy to move your date up too. No problem.
doing that right now, brother.
You got it. As soon as we get off, I'll straighten it out for you.
Yeah, I'm also part of the farm roll, and I really, really enjoy those as well. Like that was we didn't like I missed every single addition to Privada Club. It was like I was at work and I worked rotating shifts, so I'd find out about it and I'd be like at work at night and I'd get off work and I'd be like 150 spots opened up. I'd be like, yes, sorry, sold out. I'm like, fuck. And then I finally got in on it, and I was so ecstatic, dude. I mean, like I was so pumped because I felt like, yes, I'm finally part of the I'm part of the in crowd. But tonight, right? It's tonight at midnight.
I don't know if we're doing it at midnight. I'm gonna text Brian right now. Are we opening at midnight? I want to know.
Hold on, we've got the video, Christian.
Yeah. While he's texting Brian, let's play that video real quick.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
We are rolling. Action.
And action. Okay, guys, today's a very special day, and the reason is because we get to open the club back up. But we're not just filling a few spots. About a year ago, Privada Cigar Club went private. Since then, people have been beating our doors down to get into this club, and I'll get back to that. What I did was, our cigars are about a year aged, typically in the bag. Anywhere from 8 to 16 months aged by the time you get them in the club. That means I've been sitting on them for almost a year, okay? Sometimes over a year. So in May, when we went private, just because I felt like this time would come, I started ordering about 500 more cigars when we were ordering and buying 500 more cigars when we were finding things. So we're at that point now where we can add probably about 500 spots. We've not done this since the closing of the club about a year ago. So I just want to get this out of the way. please don't just join the club out of FOMO. Please don't just join it because you haven't been able to join it. If you are someone who wants to become a cigar connoisseur, if you are someone that really takes cigars seriously, if you are someone that is looking to make cigars an experience, join the club. If you are someone that's looking for a community to share that with, join the club. We will welcome you with open arms. If you're positive and you care about cigars being a craft, being a culinary thing, then join the club. This is the club for you. It's not for everyone. There are some cigars you're going to smoke here that you will not be able to get again. There are some cigars that are just going to either sell out or we don't have any more after the club, that kind of thing. So if that's going to frustrate you, this club is not for you, and I understand and respect that, okay? What makes Privada so special is the experience. And I think if you were going to copy Privada, that's what you would want to copy. You'd want to copy the experience of it. We are not only just getting you the best cigars available, but we're also telling you the story of the people that made the cigar. We're telling you the story of that specific cigar. We're giving you pairing notes. We're giving you tasting notes. We're telling you, eat steak an hour before and have cognac with this cigar, or have tea with this cigar, or have this type of beer with this cigar. That's the experience. You're reading. It's taking your mind somewhere when you smoke this cigar and creating euphoric experiences. And then on top of that, you get to share that, if you choose, with a community of some of the most positive, loving, caring people I've ever met. Cigars attract a certain type of personality. Once you truly understand what it is to smoke a cigar, where it's not jewelry to you anymore, it's not just you looking cool, it's not just you doing what everyone else is doing, but when you truly enjoy cigars and you truly want to understand what goes into that cigar, to get the education, then this is the right club for you. We have 500 open spots, and I'm really excited to welcome some new, positive connoisseurs into our club. People who look at cigars as a craft and understand that it is a culinary product, okay? Who respect the people behind the product that make the product. That's what Privada is about. Yes, it comes with a group of about 10,000 friends, okay? Yes, it comes with the best packaging in the industry. Our bag, we've literally proven this bag up to almost 2 years with the Boveda. You don't need a humidor. If you join Privada Cigar Club, they come in the perfect storage situation possible. Just keep them in a cool place. The bag and the Boveda does the rest for you. So, if you're serious about cigars and you want to learn and take this journey with us, this is your opportunity. This Friday, July 30th, we are opening the club to 500 people. We will close it once it hits 500 people. We have about 6,000 people on the waiting list. I don't know how many of them are serious about this. Again, please don't join the club out of FOMO just because you want it because you can't have it. It's not like that, man. This is a culture we're creating and a community, and I'm so proud of it because all the people that got back from PCA, it's all they're talking about. Privada, 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 okay? And yeah, it's cool with the LCA. We can put out these crazy viral sticks, and that's awesome, and I'm proud to share that with the brick and mortars and their communities. But for our PCC community, I'm looking for people who take this seriously and that want to take this journey with us and that are positive and will become positive additions to our community. So, with all that being said, I hope that your smoking experiences are amazing. I hope that some of you that watch this and are inspired by this to join the club and fall in love with our community and our cigars. And that's all I can say. Hashtag we are Privada, hashtag PSSITA, hashtag BOTLSOTL, hashtag cigar culture. Peace.
There it is.
So 500 spots. That's huge.
It is. It is quite a few. And Brian is still not texted back, so it's either midnight or 8 a.m. tomorrow, one or the other.
One of the two. It's Friday. He said Friday, so keep that website on refresh.
If you want to get an email of when we actually open, if you're not already on the waiting list, you can go online, join the waiting list. Just under the monthly box product, you can click join waitlist, and you'll get an email the moment it opens, so you can get on right away.
So I wanted to show this. I'm nubbing this thing out. I'm down to the end, man. It's a damn good stick.
And you're not pale either. You haven't lost all your colors. It must not be. Yeah. That's not be too bad in terms.
It's not what we say. Knocking my dick in the dirt, like the white blinding light, but it's definitely got some great complex flavors. So I really like this cigar. Is it bad that I am afraid to smoke some of the cigars that come in the Privada Club bag? Like I found myself collecting them. You know, I found myself getting them out of the bag, writing on the back PCC and the month that I got them, and putting them in my humidor and kind of just sitting on them, and like, man, I don't want to smoke it because I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get it again.
That's why that happens. Yeah, I relate to that feeling a lot. That's why tomorrow it's your chance. You can double up on your box with a second subscription. We like to call it one to ash, one to stash.
Yeah.
So, I do that with the farm roll. I do. I'm smoking farm rolls from like 4 months ago, and I'll post it. I'll be like, yeah, this is from the May farm roll, because I don't know if I'll ever get those again. But what was it? if I remember correctly, there was some backlash on, what was it, last month's farm roll?
There were some people who we so sometimes on Farm World we'll do a takeover where a brand takes over the box. It's just something we do to keep Farm World just with a variety of stuff. We want to just however we can keep the best cigars we can. And so we had a CAO takeover this month in July, and there were some people who didn't love that they said that they would rather get regular production stuff like this from their brick and mortars. And so we heard that, so we probably won't do like another general cigar type situation takeover ever again. But we'll just keep getting you guys the best cigars we can.
You know, I think
I saw a comment before I forget. Somebody mentioned that they had a burn issue with the Grey Wolf. Whoever that was, email info@privadasigarclub.com, please, and we'll take care of that for you.
So, you know, I personally don't have a problem with it, because I like to see the mix. And if you throw a CAO in there or a JC Newman in there, I'm fine with that. I mean, shit, there's got to come a point in time where, you know, you mix it up a little bit, so the mix is fine. For people that don't know, like, you guys have a Facebook page. That's the Privada Cigar Club members only Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a group, Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook group. And I didn't know about it for a while until my buddy Andrew from Cigars ATM told me about it. He was like, hey, dude, you really need to get on this because it gives a lot of information about the stuff. And so I got on it, joined it like, I think 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. And it does. Like, I had no idea about it. So
yeah, you get some good stuff from the Facebook group for sure.
Yeah, and I like Brian is actually on there pretty well, pretty much as I guess not necessarily monitoring it, but like keeping everything positive.
Yeah,
and I really like that. Like, he is really taking that positivity and what he said in the video about making this club and this group about people that want to be in the club, people that want to be cigar connoisseurs and take it seriously. and with social media and everything, you get those people that are super negative or want to troll people or whatever. And I really like the fact that he goes in there and he's putting a stop to some of that.
Yeah, certainly. That's something he's very passionate about. I mean, we all are, but he really, definitely is quite active in that. This Facebook group is a special thing for sure. This community is a special thing, and we really want to keep that as pure as possible.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I got away from Facebook, because of all the negativity, like through the elections and through COVID and through all that. Like, it just got so garbagey. I got off. I barely get on Facebook now, like once every other day, maybe, and scroll through for like 5 minutes. But every time I get on, I jump on the Privada Cigar Club page to kind of see what's going on. But
Brian hates Facebook for that reason. He doesn't use Facebook. He hates it. So he's like, if we're going to have a Facebook group, it's going to be damn good, okay? Any shit going on in the group.
Yeah, so since you guys aren't drinkers, can we talk about Privada coffee, ?
We can talk about Privada coffee. What do you guys want to talk about? We've got coffee now. It's good coffee.
Yeah, I have yet to try that, so I have to try it because I'm also a lover of coffee. So I have not tried it yet. I did just get on. I don't know, Clark, if you like coffee or not, but there's a new coffee people out there. It's called Tobacco Patch Coffee. And it's a father and son company, and they've actually made coffee that pairs with cigars. So they have like a Maduro, a Sumatra, a Connecticut blend.
Well, that's cool.
It's really, really cool. So you can find them on Instagram at Tobacco Patch Coffee. And then their little sample pack that they sell goes off Etsy. It's like $35. You get, I think, 7 bags. They have an espresso. If you have not tried it, and this is not pitching them, I'm just telling because they're not a sponsor of ours at all. But I freaking love their coffee. And then Legion Concepts coffee is utterly amazing as well. Those are my 2 favorite coffees to pair with cigars right now. Now, I've not tried the Privada Club's coffee. I will be buying some now that I know you guys have it, and I will try that out. But, too, for me, like, I drink coffee early in the morning because right now in Alabama, it's hot as fuck. I'm not going to be drinking coffee at, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 98.
I'm with you.
7% humidity. Now, wintertime, I drink coffee all day long. But summertime, I kind of shy off the coffee and I go to my ice cold Dr. Peppers. But
well, I'll definitely pass those 2 companies along to Ophelia. Ophelia is Brian's wife, and she's been a long time coffee connoisseur, coffee nerd. So she's really heading up Privada Coffee for us. She's actually getting certified right now by the Specialty Coffee Association of America. And boy, watching her study, it's like she's like taking college level courses in coffee. It's insane the amount of coursework that she does. She's becoming a true expert, and it's really cool. And she's tracking on a lot of really great roasters for us right now. So we're getting a really interesting selection of great coffees and great roasters, and we're looking forward to really continuing to expand Privada Coffee. I think the possibilities are endless, but it feels very authentic to offer cigars in conjunction with coffee. The Cubans say it's the perfect oldest pairing for cigars. And we just, if we can enhance our members' experience at all and give them something, an education into something else like coffee that they can use to then pair with cigars and enhance the cigar smoking experience, we're really excited about doing that. So we're looking forward to the future for sure.
So from a brick and mortar standpoint, can we order the coffee to sell in the shops?
So that's definitely something we're looking at down the road. We're not really set up for wholesale of coffee quite yet. We're still trying to establish a repertoire of roasters that we work with and a good selection of coffees in our base for online. But eventually we want to start doing custom collaborations also. And I certainly think within the next year, hopefully, it seems very realistic that we'd like to introduce coffee to our LCA shops for sure.
Yeah, that would be super cool because I get a lot. I do carry the Legion Concepts coffee,
Okay.
and it does really well in the shop. Like I have some that we brew here at the shop, but then also sell the bags to allow people to buy the bags if they like the coffee when we have it here. That's something like I would love to get a good variety of coffees that people could pair well with cigars.
Well, give us a few months, and I definitely think we can make that happen. I would be more than thrilled to get more Privada coffees in your shop when the time is right.
Sounds awesome.
So, you said earlier you love to enhance everybody's experience, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to plug a friend of me and Christian's who has, through something I would have never thought would enhance my cigar smoking, but did. Beef jerky.
Beef jerky. That's
Dude.
not where I thought it was going, but I love it.
No, you're not. You're not going to. So the guy's Jason Jolly. He has Jolly Jerky. Okay. So he's one of our smoking friends. He's Texas Shine on Instagram. Absolutely fantastic. Just had a love for, he'd smoke cigars while he's barbecuing and started doing jerky and was talking about it on a couple herps with us and stuff. And we are like, hey man, start doing that. So he started actually doing a little side hustle and he calls it Jolly Jerky. Now I have to tell you, the best flavor of Jolly Jerky he has is the Dr. Hardash.
Okay.
Jolly. And it's cherry Dr. Pepper jerky with chunky cherries and smoked applewood.
Wow.
You would think, and he does all kinds of flavors. So like he's got this Devil's Playground, and if you like jerky, you should really get on his Instagram page, Jolly Jerky, and check him out. I mean, amazing guy, amazing fucking product. And I'm sitting around one day and I'm like, okay, out smoking a cigar, and my weekly subscription of Jolly Jerky comes in, and I'm sitting out there smoking my cigar, and I was what was the one I was doing? The Texas Bar Fight, was that it, Christian? That had like smokehouse bourbon. Was that which one was the Texas Bar Fight? And I started eating it while I was smoking a cigar, and I was like, of course for me it was a Maduro cigar, but I was like, holy crap, like this jerky pairs really, really well with this cigar. So you should definitely check him out for yourself if you like jerky. But I think that would be something neat to kind of, if you were to get like a sample bag, just a little sample bag of some jerky and chuck it in one of your monthly cigar packs and send it out and be like, hey guys, try this month. See if pair this jerky with this cigar and see what you think about it. Because like people on here are lighting up right now. Yeah, I never would have thought jerky and cigars, but it makes perfect sense. It's really, really like, it worked very well for me. And for if something works good for me, I like to share it with other people, because maybe it would work good for, maybe Christian's like, oh, that I tried it and it sucked, but maybe Clark tries it and he's like, Nick, that was amazing. That stuff was really good, and I can't believe I've never thought about that before. But just a thought. I mean, it'd be something cool to throw out there to see if other people bite on it or not. And I know you guys are like pushing the envelope on stuff to do. That would be a good thought too.
It makes total sense. Cigars are a culinary experience, and so you can find some really interesting ways to pair foods with cigars to create a synergistic experience. Can you give the guys contact information? We'd love to talk with them, see what we can do.
I will do that. How about I will tag you on one, or tag Privada Cigar Club on one of his posts.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll reach out.
Well, Nick, this would be a good time for us to talk about our sponsors real quick, and then give Clark an opportunity to do his own pitches.
Absolutely.
So I'll start us off with our first sponsor.
Hesse Cigar Co. was built on the concept that the reward of hard work is enjoying the finer things in life. Our hand-rolled cigars are the reward for your hard day's labour. HCC cigars are available in 4 blends, including our Sweet Signature blend and 9 Vitolas, including our uniquely rolled Perfecto we call the Clonakilty. Our cigars are made from the finest wrappers, binders and long leaf fillers. Each stick is hand-rolled by 4th generation Cuban torcedores and shipped fresh to your door for the ultimate experience. What are you waiting for? Visit www.HennessyCigarCo.com today.
That's Hennessy Cigars, guys. We'd like to thank them for being a sponsor of the show. Go out and check out their cigars. Some great guys, great guy and gal over there running the company. Next up on the list, Nick.
So for our sponsor, Clark, I don't know if you know about these guys, but the Big Ash Smoke Book. So Lace from the Big Ash Smoke Book has made probably the most comprehensive cigar journal out there today. Like he does them, and he does them with like specialized logos. Like this is the Super Stogie Brothers edition of the Big Ash Smoke Book. This is the Hard Ash Cigar Society cover of the Big Ash Smoke Book, and then I've got more, but I think my wife is actually journaling her cigars right now. So in this, I've just randomly opened it up, but he's got it's broke down to where you can log your cigars and you know the date, the maker, the brand, the flavor, basically everything, the shape, the length, the ring gauge. And then he's got down here where you can just kind of bubble it in on the strength, the build, the construction, the burn, the draw. He's got all these different options, like everything you could think of for flavor notes. So you don't have to sit there and try to, I can't remember what that is. You just basically look at this, you know, and it tells you, hey, these are the flavor notes you could possibly have. So it kind of helps you out doing that. And then in the middle of it, he's got a ruler, measure it. He's got gauge check, so you can check like what gauge, ring gauge your cigar is. He's got like the Vitola sizes here, so you can kind of tell. For people that don't really know, he's got it all here where it's got the different caps, triple cap, bellicoso, pigtail. He's got the different sizes, Corona, Petite Corona, and it tells you everything you need to know about it. In the back, he's got a notes section. He's got like a dictionary, like cigar terms. He's got like different conversation starters, hottest online shops, brand explorations, like what's your favorite brand, what's the brands that you want to try. He's actually puts his own sticky glue in here, so you can put your bands on there, and he gives you your own pin, which works perfectly with the parchment paper that he uses to do his books with. So the Big Ash Smoke Book is one of our sponsors. If you have not checked them out, I highly suggest you go in there and give them a look and a try.
Yeah. Our next
to you, anybody else that's watching.
Yeah. And our next sponsor is Legion Concepts. If you haven't checked them out on Instagram, it's at Legion Concepts. They have some great cigars. They have the Magnus, which is a great blended cigar, which he also puts a tablespoon of vanilla custard pipe tobacco into the filler, which gives you a great vanilla flavored cold draw. It also has a great aromatic when you're smoking that cigar. A combination of cigar and pipe tobacco smell. He's also got his Lancero version of that cigar without the pipe tobacco, which is also an amazing cigar. He has coffee. The coffee beans are grown in the same valley as the tobacco, so they pair really well with his cigars. And he also makes a lot of accessories like rock skull stands, cutters, and he's now got the new Legion nubbers available. He constantly sells out, so if you want to get it, you definitely need to hit him up on Instagram at Legion Concepts on Instagram.
So our final sponsor is Skyview Creations 256. So Skyview Creations, she makes personalized like Yeti style cups They're the thermal insulated cups. She can do any type of design you want on the cup. She actually does a cigar design. The cup itself looks like a cigar leaf, and then she can put a band on the bottom of it with whatever logo. This is our Super Stogie Bros cup, so it's got Christian's logo on one side, and you roll it to the other side, and it's got my logo on the back of that. But you can find her at Skyview Creations 256 on Instagram or Skyview Creations on Facebook, and that is how you get with her and order. She's got a ton of stuff out there, and then, like I said, you can personalize any cup that you want.
And we can't forget our number one sponsor, Elion Cigar Company. You can find out everything that's in our virtual humidor on www.elioncigars. ElionCigar.com or ElionCigarClub.com. We do have available the leather, fruit leather, the hashtag Charger Ash, and My Blue Heaven available on August 6th, next Friday. We will have the LCA release of the Lady Killer. So we'll have a small amount for our website, but most of probably majority of everything's going to be in shop. So if you can't make it to the shop, definitely get in touch with me. I'll do what I can to get you some. But check us out at www.elioncigarclub.com.
And if you can't tell, this Lady Killer is amazing. Like, I'm down to and trying just to keep it going and not run out of it, because this cigar is fantastic. So when these drop, I will be at the cigar room on 72 that morning waiting on the doors to open up so I can get in and get my LCA releases for this month.
I love the dedication of the cause.
Yeah.
So, Clark, is there anything you want to pitch?
Well, I did finally get word. 12 o'clock midnight tonight, the club is opening. That's all I need to say right there. You know, like if Privada is a movement, it's a culture, it's a community, and if you guys are not already a part of it, it's really good timing. We actually didn't know we were opening the club when we first scheduled this live, but if you're really passionate about cigars and you want to learn more and you want to really become a connoisseur, a serious smoker of cigars, we would love to have you. Please email me anytime, Clark@PrivadaCigarClub.com. Ask me any cigar-related questions. I would just look forward to having anybody who's really passionate as part of this community.
Very awesome.
If you have any, email Brian at PrivadaCigarClub.com, not Clark. There should really be, like, if you have complaints, you really need to step back and kind of check yourself out, because I think what you guys are doing is absolutely fantastic. Me and Christian are really big about building up the community, and I think you guys are doing a fantastic job of not just building up the cigar smokers, but the cigar, manufacturers and everything. I really appreciate it, and I know you get it a million times a day. But man, you guys are just hitting home runs, dude. It's awesome. So
we really have our members to thank for that. This wouldn't be anything without our members, and we listen to our members' feedback and we value it. It doesn't really feel like hard work when you're having fun and sharing with people that you care about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show and taking the time to talk with us and chat with us and do that stuff. If you're available next Thursday, we do a HERF with all of our viewers and give them an opportunity to maybe talk face to face with you via Zoom. If you're available next Thursday, that would be great. We'd really appreciate that, and I think our viewers would really appreciate that. But we're super appreciative of you coming on the show, and thanks, man.
Well, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. I'm pleased to be here, and I'll definitely let me check my calendar on next Thursday, and if I'm available, I would definitely love to come join the HERF. That'd be a lot of fun too.
Well, I'll warn you, Clark. Our HERFs are very addictive. They are.
Okay.
In fact,
I'm ready.
Paul Stulak got on our herp after his show, and he's been on every single herp since then because he was
Wow.
like it's and that's saying something because like I'm a freaking huge Paul Stulak fan. So when we got on the
If
show,
Paul's gonna be there, I'll make it. I'll be there. Paul.
That's awesome. Cool.
That's
Very
great.
much. We're gonna put you back in the waiting room. We'll hang out for a minute after we do our exit video, and then we'll chit chat for just a couple more minutes after that. If you're good with that.
Well, hey, thanks again for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. See you guys
Thanks
later.
a lot.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. So
Cool.
thank y'all very much for watching.
Yeah, I think that was an amazing episode. So that was a pretty good follow up to the Coburns. I think it was a lot of neat stuff. Clark's a wealth of information, and once again, if guys, you better be up at midnight tonight to jump on that Privada Cigar Club opening. It's fantastic. So everything that they preach, they practice. So that's really cool about Privada. So thanks. We'll see you guys Thursday.
Yep, Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday.
All right.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Till next time.
Be good.
Yes, all right, let's go! Mario